Your nightstand looks like it lost a fight with a bookstore. A thriller stacked on a romance. A self-improvement book half open. A fantasy novel with a bent page. Bookmarks sticking out everywhere. And tonight, like most nights, you stare at them and cannot choose just one. So you read a chapter from one book. Then you switch to another. Maybe you open a third for a few pages. People see this and think you are unfocused, like your mind is all over the place. But that is not what is really happening. You are not lost. Your brain just does not work in a one-book-only way. And the real question is this: why do some people finish one book before touching another, while you comfortably juggle 5 at the same time? Let us break it down. Reading several books at once is far more normal than most people realize. Still, the people who do it often worry something is wrong with them. They think they lack discipline, focus, or commitment. Before you buy into that idea, there is something important you need to understand. Your reading behavior is not random. It follows a psychological pattern. There are 4 common types, and each one reveals what is really going on inside your mind. The first type is the mood matcher. For these readers, books are emotional tools. They do not choose a book based on which one they started first. They choose based on how they feel in the moment. A hard, exhausting day pushes them toward fantasy. A surge of motivation pulls them to a self-improvement book. A heavy, emotional moment sends them to romance. Their mind has learned that different stories meet different emotional needs. Psychologists call this emotional regulation through storytelling. They are not jumping between books without reason. They are aligning what they read with how they feel. Switching books is not distraction for them. It is emotional awareness. They know that forcing themselves to read the wrong book in the wrong mood slowly drains the joy out of reading. So they keep options open, not because they cannot commit, but because they understand their emotions change, and their reading should change with them. The second type is the attention fragmenter. These readers struggle to stay with one story for long periods, not because the book is bad, but because their mind craves variety. Reading the same book every night feels dull and repetitive. Having 3 or 4 choices feels stimulating and alive. Psychologists connect this to stimulation-seeking thinking patterns and traits commonly seen in attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Their brain needs novelty to stay engaged. One book alone cannot do that night after night. Multiple books create a rotation that keeps their interest strong. For them, switching books is not a focus problem. It is how they protect their focus. And they do not confuse characters or plots because their brain actually enjoys tracking multiple storylines. It is not chaos. It is simply how they are wired. The third type is the commitment avoider. For these readers, finishing a book feels heavier than starting one. Not because they dislike endings, but because endings force a decision. What comes next? By opening new books before closing old ones, they delay that uncomfortable moment. Psychologists call this completion anxiety. Their mind feels safer in the middle of a story where possibilities are still open and nothing is truly finished. Finishing a book means the magic is over. Starting a new one means the magic begins again. So they live in constant beginnings, surrounding themselves with unfinished stories that feel comforting. For them, reading multiple books is not about variety. It is about avoiding the emotional weight of closure, both on the page and in life. The fourth type is the genre hopper. These readers come to books for different reasons. Fiction gives them escape. Nonfiction helps them grow. Poetry gives beauty. Memoirs offer connection. They need all of it, not one at a time, but together. Each book feeds a different part of who they are. Psychologists describe this as diversified intellectual satisfaction. Their mind does not want to be flat or one-dimensional. Too much fiction feels disconnected. Too much nonfiction feels heavy, so they blend it. A chapter of fantasy, then something real, then something beautiful. For them, reading several books is not scattered. It is intentional. They are designing a reading life that feeds their whole self, not just one interest or one mood. And that is not disorder. That is thoughtful balance. Here is what all these readers share. None of them are bad at reading. They are simply redefining it. The mood matcher reads emotionally. The attention fragmenter reads actively. The commitment avoider reads safely. The genre hopper reads completely. None of them are wrong. They just refuse to follow a rule that never fit them in the first place. So here is the real question. Does finishing one book at a time actually make you a better reader? Or does reading in a way that fits your mind make the experience richer? Maybe juggling 5 books is not a distraction at all. Maybe it is understanding that reading is not a competition. It is a relationship. So which one are you? Leave a comment and tell us how many books you are reading right now. And if this shifted how you see yourself, subscribe. We go deep into the psychology that actually explains people.